All right, what's going on, you guys? My name's Joseph Fuentes,
And I'm Daniela.
and we just wanted to start a podcast. We honestly don't have a name for it yet, but we figure we take messy action. We just start talking to you guys, and if you have any ideas that maybe you want to share for a podcast name, maybe we can get some just ideas going, drop them in the comments. We would love to go through them and take them into consideration.
And to add to that, any questions that you guys have that you guys would want to know,
We'll go over all of that. We kind of just wanted to make this first episode a little bit about us so you can know who you're listening to and
get to know us.
yeah, just get an idea of who we are as people because yes, we're content creators, but we are also humans behind the screen. So,
Experiencing life with you guys as well.
yeah, that's what we really want to share because a lot of people don't really show the behind the scenes type of thing or lifestyle, the struggles which
The
were
raw.
yeah, the real raw life struggles that we all experience, and we want to share that with you guys. So, a little bit about me is I'm 26 years old, and well, Daniela and I have been dating for 4 years.
Almost 4 years.
It's gonna be 4 years in July, and at the time of this recording, it is currently March 2025. So, in a few months, we'll be dating for 4 years officially, and we just moved into an apartment together. We're on a 1 year lease, which ends also in July. So we got a lot coming up. We don't plan on renewing this release, but
Release.
oh, we don't plan on renewing this lease. But anyways, I grew up playing sports my whole life and fell in love with fitness after. I'm an online fitness coach right now as well and full-time content creator. So it's been a journey, but I definitely love all of the life lessons that I've experienced so far.
Yeah, nice.
And what about yourself?
So, a little about myself. You already know my relationship. Been with Joseph since 2021. So, it's been a roller coaster.
Oh man.
But yeah, we recently moved in. Not recently, it's been 7 months since we've been living here, but that was in May 2024. And a little about myself, I'm 23. I guess you can say I'm a somewhat recent college graduate. I graduated with my bachelor's in criminal justice, and if any of you guys are in law enforcement or studying that, you guys know it's a very, very lengthy process. And currently, I am a full time content creator while we kind of figure out our situation, which we'll probably get into a little later on in the video.
Yeah. So cool. I mean, I didn't add in, but I did. I didn't add that in, but I also did go to college. So I graduated in spring 2021 with a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. So what I studied kind of goes hand in hand with what I do for work, but at the end of the day, like building a business, no one really teaches you that unless you invest into yourself and find a mentor who's done that, which I'm currently doing as well. So I'm all about self development, mindset, fitness, health, and nutrition. I feel like there's so much like untapped energy that like all of us have, and like figuring out how to like really dial in into like your lifestyle and be like that best version of yourself is the message that I like to portray.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about helping, making a change, I guess.
Yeah. And I feel like being content creators, it's literally just one video. Like one video can
Yeah.
change your life.
So many connections with strangers on the internet who are going through the same experiences as you are. I think it's beautiful that you could connect with people all around the world.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's super cool. Like even going on live streams. I mean, shoot, let alone talking on a podcast now. You
Yeah.
know, someone can be listening to this while they're driving or while they're going on a walk or maybe they're on their way to school, whatever it is. And I feel like that messaging is really important because we live in a very chaotic world and sometimes it's good to just kind of take a step back and like really disconnect for yourself.
I was laughing at Sage, our bunny. This is currently her room.
Oh
She's
yeah.
laying down. She like plopped. But okay, I guess going into why we moved out.
Okay, we'll go ahead. I think you take the.
Guys, I'm recovering from a flu, so I'm not contagious anymore.
Yeah, coughed all over the mic.
So, anyways,
All
the
right.
reason as to why we moved out. So, It was not in my plan to move out with Joseph. And initially, backstory, my parents decided they were going to move to Tennessee, which meant they were going to sell our house. And my parents, of course, wanted all of us, my siblings and I, to go out there, but I was still going to college. And that wasn't ideal for me, considering that I was still going to school. Obviously, the laws here don't apply out in Tennessee, so it wasn't even an option for me to go out there. I told my parents, if this is what you guys, it's the best for you guys, so I'll figure it out on my own. And that's when I started looking for apartments. And anyone who lives in California, especially LA County, you guys know that it is extremely, extremely expensive.
Yeah.
And at that time, I, of course, asked my boyfriend to go looking for apartments with me. And initially, I was going to move into a studio because it was just going to be me and my little bunny. And I thought that was more than enough space for us two. And my range was around 1,500 for a little studio, and that was not ideal. That wasn't even in the picture. The areas that were around that price were just extremely not the best places to
Yeah.
live, especially as a girl. And that's when I guess you can say your part.
Yeah, so we went looking at apartments, and as she was saying, I just want to add to it a little bit more. Nothing was really ideal. There were in really bad places. It was uncomfortable even for her and I just to walk around, just to be in the complex. Graffiti on walls, just gated windows, things like that, and it just wasn't something that I wanted her to be in, especially since like it was going to be her first time moving out like on her own. So obviously like I care about her and her safety's a priority of mine, and it just wasn't like I didn't want her living in that, you know, and I brought up the idea of, well, like, well, why don't we find something nicer, somewhere different, somewhere in a better place, better area? And I'll give you all the credit. She did all of the research, you guys. Like she literally looked for everything. She did it. She had to, right? There was no other option because her parents were selling the home and it was gonna happen, and she needed to find a place to stay. And we'll talk about like living with your significant other's parents as well. That's gonna be something we're gonna get into eventually. But we, I told her, look for something nicer. Maybe it's on the closer to 2,000 kind of range, and we'll deal with it. We'll manage it. We'll figure it out, right? One of those messy action type of things. So she found this apartment, and as soon as we got here, we walked into the front office, and we were just like, "Wow, this is
The words I say you could say is we fell in love.
yeah."
As comparing it to other places that we had seen.
Yeah, we fell in love with it. They did a really good job at selling the the presentation of the office, the way that it smelled. We walked in, you're in the office, and the first thing you see is the pool. So the pool was also a big selling point, and it's kind of funny because we've never even used the pool, but they also have like a grill, and they just did a really good job at like like presentation wise. It was really nice. And of course, we come up to the complex. No, we come up to the apartment, and it's brand new, newly remodeled. It's like the newest version, and we just felt like
We
this is
fell in love
nice.
with it.
Yeah, we felt like this is what would seem more comfortable. This is what would seem more safe, and yeah, it's one bedroom, one bath, full living room, full kitchen, and we have a balcony for our bunny, and here we are now utilizing it for a podcast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that started. So we ended up doing this together.
And I guess a little backstory as to how we found this apartment, because I'm sure a lot of people who are going to move out or whatever your situation is would like to hear it. But initially, yeah, we were looking around where we were living in LA County, and none of those places were ideal. And so I did a little research, and I was like, okay, well, we don't have to stay stuck in the city where we grew up. So at the time, I was working where I went to school, but I knew that it was basically like I was a student worker, so that was gonna end in, I believe, August. And so I was like, okay, this is temporary. So that's when I looked into the IE, and I was like, okay, this area isn't too far from where his parents live. So I looked and I found this place, and I instantly fell in love with the pictures. And I remember showing Joseph, and I was like, oh my God, like, we have to go check it out. And we were both up for it, and we came here, and like Joseph said, the moment we walked in, and that's how that whole story played out.
And here we are now, 7 months later, trying to figure out what's our next move. Because we don't plan on renewing the lease, like how I mentioned. So we got to figure out what's next then. And that's currently where we're at, to be honest, you guys. And as full-time content creators, we figure the more content that can be valuable to you guys, the better. And talking about our real life experiences is something that we're always going to be do. We're always going to something that we're always going to be doing. We're always going to be open, and we think like having a podcast platform can help with that.
So that is a little backstory as to our current situation, a little introduction to our life, and yeah, to be continued with a name. And the next episode, comment what you guys would want to watch. Any questions about anything, relationship, life, content creator, if you want to start,
Gym.
gym content. Joseph and I go to the gym 5 days a week. Now we cut it to 4,
Yeah.
but anything, basically.
Yeah.
What it's like to rent.
Oh my God, that's been a big learning curve, to be honest. That has been a huge learning curve. We'll talk about that in a later episode, you guys, about how we're even here, like how it's been really tough. So we got you guys. Just stick around. We appreciate you guys' support. For those of you who are here from the beginning, just thank you. Thank you for allowing us to have an opportunity just to speak to you guys, and maybe eventually in the future meeting some of you, which would be super cool. Talk to you guys on the next episode, and we hope you have a good rest of your day.